be cooking up some Parmesan venison. First thing we're going to do is we are going to saute about 1 onion. You get your skillet hot. I have a little bit of olive oil in here, and I'm just going to pour my onions in. Go ahead and make sure your skillet's hot before you do this. We're going to let those cook down a little bit. Looks like they may need a little bit more olive oil to me. So if it looks kind of dry, add a little bit more olive oil. Now this dish, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, is so good that you are going to want to make extra. If you don't eat it all, which I doubt that you won't, then you can take your venison, fried venison, and you can just freeze it on a sheet pan separately in the freezer, and then you can just pull it out and heat your oven to 225 degrees and warm it up. So that is so easy to do. Also, if you're having a lot of company or anything over, you can do the same thing. Just keep it warm in a 225 degree oven. So, okay. Now that our onions are translucent, we are going to go ahead and add our other ingredients. First, I'm going to add the garlic. You don't want this to burn, but it is nice to get that, to get it a little flavor in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my homemade tomato sauce from the summer. That good and stirred up. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to add my basil leaves. Basil makes everything better. Some people, butter makes everything better, but I'm a basil person. All right, and then I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. That's not half. Okay. All right, I'm going to simmer this for about 30 minutes. Depending on how many people you are making this for, you may want to make a double batch of this. Okay, I'm going to move that to the back eye. I'm going to go ahead and get my oil hot, because it really needs to be smoking hot when you put your meat in. You need to hear that sizzle, or you're not going to get a good brown on your loin. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to clean my space first. Okay, and I'm going to pound out my meat. All right. Just going to cut my loin into about an inch wide slice. And I'm going to go ahead and do this whole loin. It's not so big. All right, and you're going to get a pounder. And you can get these anywhere, really anywhere, any kind of kitchen store. And so go ahead and pound it out. And a lot of people like to put cellophane down so that it doesn't splatter on their clothes, but I have way too many to keep doing that over and over again because it'll tear a hole in it. I usually have too many. I don't just have 5 people in my house, and plus, this would feed 1 person in my house. So, and you can do this recipe with a hind quarter, but it's really great in with the loin. All right, I'm finished pounding my meat, and now I'm going to bring over the other ingredients. I have flour that I'm going to put some salt and pepper in a minute, eggs, and a little bit of breadcrumbs mixed with Parmesan cheese. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of salt into about a cup or so of flour and about a half a tablespoon of pepper. And I'm going to give that a quick stir. Okay? Okay. All right, now I'm going to get these eggs going. You're just going to put them straight on your plate and try not to get the shell in. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, really just like a half of a teaspoon or so. And that just helps things to adhere a little bit better to your loin. All right, first thing you're going to do is dredge this in your flour. And then into your egg mixture. Okay, and then into your breadcrumbs with the Parmesan cheese. That's the sound right there that you want to hear when you put it down. And don't move it around. Look at how golden brown this is. You talk about something good. This is it. All right, our venison is done. Let it go on two sides. Now we're going to let it rest for a minute. I'm going to turn off the heat off this pan. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my tomato mixture back over. And I'm going to get my immersion blender, which is very handy for every kind of vegetable soup. And I'm just going to blend this right up and make it more of a consistent sauce. Okay, I'm going to use 1 or 2 pieces of my venison depending on how hungry you are. Now my family could never eat this amount of venison. We would starve. So what I like to do is use a hind quarter as well, and I like to do a double batch and freeze it if I can. I'm going to put 2 pieces of loin, and then I'm going to, you can serve this over pasta too, and then I'm going to put on my great tomato sauce. Okay, that's probably good. It is really, really good. Gonna get a fork and see. Okay. See how easy this is to cut right through? You do not even have to have a knife. It is going to be so good. That's great. To check out my cookbook, go to gameandgarden.com and learn more about how to feed your family from the wild and just enjoy the process.